here. Welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday night. I usually don't say the date, but it is May 14th, 2025. Oh, remember the website, NGSCsports.com, where you catch all of your I gotta what you call it. I gotta try to make this, public and all that crazy stuff. NGSsports.com, where you catch all of your current content. If you log on to the website, of course, Sammy Sportface gives us his new book, Last Words. He types his last words in new book, Death by AI. He's obsessed with AI. We got the PWHL weekly notebook, and Boston Fleet's captain Hillary Knight is a finalist for the PWHL Forward of the Year award. All that and more, of course, on NGSCsports.com, where we never stop. All right, so here goes. I always got an intro. I'm always funny. I'm always playing, right? Bear with me, guys. The year is 1969. I'm 6 years old. My daddy's already taken me probably to about a half a dozen New York Met games. That was his team, New York Mets. Hence, it's my team. Went to the Polo Grounds, Louis, before Shea Stadium was built. Don't worry, Louis. I was too young. I don't remember not one time I was there. But
I thought it was gone by then. But okay,
that was my dad's team. My team by extension, but it was my dad's team. During the same year of 1969, they call it the miracle of 69, because the Mets had no business even playing in the playoffs. They were only 7 years old, an expansion team. And they made it to the World Series. And wow, it was special. And I can remember, and I was 7. But there was another team in New York. They were making some noise too. They were making it down what they call the Mecca, the Garden. That team was the New York Knickerbockers. As a 7-year-old kid, I got lucky. My daddy's team, the New York Mets, won the World Series, and the New York Knicks won their first NBA championship in 1970. I got goosebumps, y'all. Y'all don't understand what you're about to hear. I listened to the games on the radio when Willis Reed got hurt, when he came limping back out in Game 7. Even as a 7-year-old boy, I was hyped. I would. All my friends was outside playing. Them all, man. I was upstairs listening to the Knicks win an NBA championship at 7 years old. I was a fan. I was hooked. That was my team. Not my daddy's team. That was my team. 3 years later, the New York Mets would play the Oakland A's in the 1973 World Series. Unfortunately, daddy's team didn't win. But my team did. My team did. For the second time, the New York Knicks were NBA champions. I was 10 years old. I mean, think about it, y'all. My favorite baseball team, my favorite basketball team. You want some sports love? That's tears, boys. That's tears. That's fandom from the heart. I was 10 years old, and I had 4 championships. 4. Wow. Y'all couldn't tell me shit. My friends want to talk about G.I. Joe. Shit, I want to talk about New York Mets and New York Knicks. And then the wait. Louis knows about the wait.
And a long one at that.
And as a Knicks fan, we had to wait 11 years to feel some kind of joy.
Yeah.
And on draft lottery night, golly,
I remember that.
man, basketball God was in the house, boy. It was the Patrick Ewing sweepstakes. And yeah, the New York Knicks had the number 1 pick. And the big man came to town. Louis, you must have felt it. I'm digging my feet in my carpet. Y'all don't know the vibration in my head, the tears rolling down my face, man. When I tell you, it was
Number
time.
33.
It was time to bring another championship home. It was time. Had to wait 8 years. The best Knicks team, 1993. Water team.
You know, I was a little skeptic about that when there was supposed to be a. Well, here was the thing. We were rumored. Now, I use the word rumored that Isaiah Thomas, not the Isaiah Thomas that you guys know from your generation, but the Isaiah Thomas from the Detroit Pistons. Excuse me. And it was rumored that he was going to come, but for some reason that didn't go through. I mean, I think he turned it down. And I went to the Garden the next day, and when Mike Olszewski, the PA announcer at the Garden, was announcing his name, you would not believe the booing in that arena, myself included, because like we were ready to like I was like almost ready to throw up. So they got Derek Harper from the Dallas Mavericks. Like, you're gonna get him? You're gonna get what? Oh boy, our season shot to hell. Oh boy, because the Mavericks, of course, back then, if I mean use this term correctly, sucked, and they did. They really did. They were. I mean, this was 30 years ago. You guys weren't even born yet. But the Mavericks were pitiful. They were they were a joke.
Every
and
year.
I'm thinking, you're gonna get Harper to come to the Knicks. Can you imagine how terrible this is gonna be? We are gonna be the laughing stock of the NBA this year because we got this schmuck from one of the worst teams in the league. Like, oh boy, it's only gonna be a headache.
How'd that turn out? How'd that turn out, Louis? How'd that turn out?
Gee, a complete 360 because they made the playoffs. They were first in the conference. Now, of course, it was the year that Jordan, has fake retirement. That's not a story for that time. So, it was like a perfect opportunity for us to, get somewhere. So we made it all the way to the conference finals, and it was against Indiana in Game 6. And when the Knicks got that ball at the end, I'm like, we got this. We got the Eastern Conference.
So
we're going to the finals. Oh yes.
And then
everything is going so smoothly.
Remember Louis.
Yeah.
And then came 1994.
Yeah, but
the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I would love. Pat Riley answered the question in the press conference. I don't care what he said in that press time, but God damn it, I need you to answer me. Me. At what point was you gonna take John Starks out of the fucking game?
You should have took him out before that.
It's Game 7. He hit one fucking shot in the whole first half.
Exactly.
It's like
what the hell are you thinking?
All the dreams just came crashing down in those last 2 games in Houston, and that was it. The door closed, and the what I knew was going to happen, at least one title. I knew we were going to win the title with Patrick. We didn't get shit. And by the way, y'all, there's a big reason we didn't get it. 2, 3, 23. MJ wasn't going to let it happen. Anyway, I don't want to stretch this too far. So, 1994. That was 31 years ago. Right now, 9.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Celtics are up 5-4. They're in Boston. The Knicks are up 3-1. I'm going to end it with this. 52 years. God damn it, I've been waiting 52 years. Since 1973. I got cancer. I ain't got no back. I done lost family and friends, and I can't tell you my horrible fucking life. But all I want for Christmas is one more NBA championship from the Knicks. And I'm going to say it now. We'll start the show. If the Boston Celtics go down tonight, my New York Knicks get a chance to win and play at home with home court advantage in the Eastern Conference Final for the first time in 25 years, I got news for you, Indiana fans. I'm sorry. We going to the NBA Finals, and I'm telling you right now, bring them. OKC, Denver, Minnesota, bring your ass on, because Mr. Clutch got something for you. Welcome to the NGSC Sports NBA podcast. If y'all don't know if I'm fired up tonight, you're not paying attention. NBA time. We're going to say that. We're going to save all of that for the end, because the first thing we got to talk about, in a post-game press conference, Donovan Mitchell sits at a table, and he's lost. And I feel for the brother, I feel for the brother. He said he left the city. Hey, cuz, I'm going straight to you first. So Donovan Mitchell, he feels real bad, right? And I felt bad for Lee, man. You could feel his pain. Talk about the love for the people, the fan. He said this place is so special. And then he says, I let this city down. I'm going to take it with you with this, cuz. First of all, the Pacers whooped that ass. I mean, they mopped the floor with Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland would have ever won the series because they talking about he'll be back, right? They'll be back. Wasn't we here like 3 years ago when the Cavs built a team to beat the New York Knicks, didn't beat the Knicks? So what? He gone. Now what happens? And by the way, one more thing. Donovan Mitchell, as good as he is, as good as you are, my brother, you don't understand. You're not a closer. You don't make people around you better, and you don't bring that dog to that team. Go ahead, cuz. I need some breath.
I don't know. I don't know how to and where to start. Like the Pacers. Well, it's not the Pacers. The Cavs. This will be Donovan Mitchell's second time as a 1 seed not making a conference finals. He did it in the West with Rudy Gobert and company. Now he's doing it with Cleveland. I'm not trying to pin this loss on him, but it gets to a point where questions have to be made on if you can't get yourselves to at least a conference finals as a 60-plus win team, changes might have to be made to the Cavs roster. Darius Garland, he can't stay healthy in the postseason. Jared Allen was getting crushed by Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam.
Huge.
Ty Jerome, he went from 6-man of the year candidate to a 5-minute per game player. Couldn't even get on the floor.
Yeah.
Max Strus, 0 for 9 in an elimination game.
And Max Strus, hold up. Max Strus left a message for everybody. He left a Michael Jordan message for everybody, basically telling everybody, if y'all don't think we can win this, keep your ass at home. Maybe, Matt, you should have kept your ass at home.
Yeah. And then for the Pacers, all I can say is I love the way they play. They don't do too much dribbling. They pass the ball around.
Underrated.
They pass the ball around a lot. And for this, the next series, it should be the Knicks versus Pacers. It's going to be a fun matchup.
Man, yo, Jay. So I'm looking at you all this time. I know. I had to babble on at first, right? So you gave me that, but after that, you don't have this look on your face like, all right, come on, let's go, boss, move it, because I got shit to say. Go ahead, Jay.
Listen.
Hey, the Pacers. Hold up. Most underrated player. Or most overrated player, they said, right? Overrated?
Yeah. Yes.
Overrated. I'll be damned.
Listen. I don't want to be one of those people, but I saw this team as a very overrated team going back to the beginning of the season. Okay. They were drawing a lot of comparisons to the 2014-15 Hawks. Like everybody says, they're the 60-plus win team. and they just fall apart. The Hawks made the conference finals that year. They did better than the Cavs, And just looking at this game, like Braden said, I mean, Max Strus 0 for 9, did nothing. Ty Jerome basically failed them too. Darius Garland has his injuries, and he disappointed too. Jared Allen, and you look at Donovan Mitchell, he was basically carrying the Cavs this entire series, but he had a poor game too. 8 of 25 from the field, and he made 15 free throws. The majority of his scoring came from the line. And like you said, he does not have the clutch gene in him, unfortunately. We've seen this year after year. He leads a good regular season team, gets him into the playoffs, and then he just disappears. And this is what happens. And I think we're at the point that we're going to see some big changes in Cleveland. I think if we're being realistic, I think Jared Allen might be the first player to go. I know there were rumors of Mitchell and Garland not getting along last year, but who knows what's going to happen there, but something's going to change and it's going to be big.
Yeah, it's got to. And Louis, on the Indiana Pacers side, here's a Pacers team who, by the way, with all this overrated BS and stuff about Halliburton, let's look at a Pacers team who went to the Eastern Conference, they've been to the Eastern Conference already, okay? They've been here before, Louis, and they played that way. And as a Knicks fan, and we're going to save the Knicks for last. I don't talk about the Knicks till last.
Of course.
But I want to talk about the Pacers side. As a Knicks fan, Louis, I'm more worried. Of course, we weren't worried about the Celtics because we knew we were going to get blown the hell out by the Celtics. But that didn't happen, so forget that. And assuming, by the way, the series is not over yet. I'm not counting Boston out until I see the Knicks have full wings. Then I'll count them out. But assuming, Louis, it is a Pacers-Knicks series. This is a Pacer team, although the Knicks have better weapons this year than last year. This is a Pacer team I think we should still be worried about, Louis.
Well, I mean, it's not the same. It's not like we have Reggie Miller to worry about anymore. So, I think that's a be a law. However, yeah, you do got Halliburton. He has proven to be a dangerous player. So, yeah, in some cases, I think it's better than it was back 30 years ago. But the Pacers still have their weapons too. I was still worried more about this series with Boston, I think, because Boston usually beats our pants off in the playoffs as much as they beat us up in the regular season. So I was more worried about this series than anything else because I thought we were going to get our asses kicked, to be honest. Right. But then after the unfortunate injuries to some of their best players, things might be the momentum might be changing here a bit in favor of our side. I mean, I don't wish injuries on anybody, of course, but this was as much as I the Celtics, I won't want to say it, but it gave us the advantage because Boston was now up two of their best players, and we were able to see the opportunity and take it. And now here we are, up 3-1, and have a chance to close it out. Of course, if Boston makes shots like this, it could be a long night. Oh boy.
Yeah, so it's with the Pacers. I'm just congratulations to the Pacers. I mean, because.
To be honest with you, though, I didn't think that they were going to match up against Cleveland because Cleveland was the best team in the East all season, and they just choked. And the Pacers
They not only choked. I believe that there's a stat where they're 38-5 at home, and the 5 losses are to the Indiana Pacers. They got owned at home.
Wow.
I mean, they got owned at home. So it's like there's so many changes have to happen, but we discussed it. All of us agree right here. As good as Donovan Mitchell is, and Braden, Jay, y'all talked about making changes in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. The path that Donovan Mitchell has gotten better and better and better. There's no question about that. He's an elite player in the NBA. But his path in Utah is basically the same as his path in Cleveland. He gets together with a guy or two. In this case, it was Rudy Gobert in Utah. He got a couple of guys here in Cleveland. They get better. They become 50-win teams, 60-win teams, great regular season team. And for some reason, yeah, and you know what's crazy, y'all? Ain't it something? It's almost like, why do we play 82 games? Why don't we play like 55 and just go straight to the postseason? Because postseason basketball is a whole different monster than regular season basketball. That's for sure. In the other series, and this is in the West. You know what, Jay? We know how good Joker is. We know how good Joker is. And if you want to find out, as if you're the other team against Joker, if you want to find out how good your defense is, let's put it up to the test to one of the greatest players on the planet. And OKC done locked that boy. I don't care about that 44-point game. That boy, they done locked that boy down. And he can't hit threes. He's missing open shots. He's missing cribs. And Denver's in trouble. OKC, they're going home, right? I got this right? They're going home up 3-2?
No, they're going to Denver.
They're going to Denver?
Yeah. Game 6 is in Denver, yeah.
All right, hold on, I got to edit that then. Tell me, Jay, what's up?
Oh, man. You know what? Denver, well, let me just talk about Denver for a second. The games they have played this postseason have been just like, I don't want to say basketball perfection, but this is what you look for in the playoffs, all right? Mm-hmm. You're talking memorable moments, clashes between players, just these great memories, and just, intense games, okay? And like you mentioned, Joker's 44-point game last night. He was getting locked up, but at the same time, he was hitting some ridiculous shots. I think it was over.
Like only Joker could.
Yeah. Just spun around, threw that three up like a circus shot. I don't even think it hit the. It was just straight through the net, And at this point, it really feels like it's the Thunder versus Joker. Okay, you're not getting the help you should be getting from the other people in Denver. Okay, Jamal Murray had a good 20-point game, but Michael Porter Jr. is basically out there as a decoy. He's done nothing with his shoulder injury, and at this point, they really should just pull him.
Yeah.
Right. OKC is smart enough to realize he is out there as a decoy, but I think this is whoever comes out of this series may win the championship.
Louis, I'm going to you, Louis. OKC, of course, has had this incredible season.
Oh yeah,
of course. Denver has shown in this series. I mean, the vulnerabilities of OKC, but that OKC defense is so good. And I want to go yell. Jay said, Porter Jr., man, they need to sit him down, Louis.
Oh, they sure do. That's another dangerous on the hand of their team. And, that's what's, I think, led to OKC, to the top of the Western Conference. And, so they've had their problems against Denver, but, they always find a way to come back. And if Porter Jr., the rest of OKC goes the way they've been, I think they're going to be a lock to go into the NBA Finals. I mean, Denver will give it a run, but OKC just has more offense. So I think they'll take it.
Obviously, Minnesota might have something to say about that, but
yeah, maybe.
One thing for sure, Braden, they build this SGA versus Joker. Hey, Lou Dort had your boy Dort had a good game last night. I mean, he had a good game last night. I was like, wait a minute, I know that boy remember how to play. Yeah, they just got a full team. Holmgren and Hartenstein. They look like they're getting the best of Denver down below. They're going to Denver. This is Denver's only chance. Can OKC take them out?
Yes, they can. I think in this series, it's shown the Game 5 performance. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray had to play the whole second half, while OKC stars SGA, Chet, and J-Dub can sit on the bench for a few minutes in the third and fourth quarters. the Nuggets ran out of gas, as it seemed, in my opinion, especially once Lou Dort came off the bench. He only played like 24 minutes tonight, but he had 9 straight points with some clutch threes in the fourth quarter. And it felt after Nikola Jokic hit that crazy shot, like Jay said, at that point, the Nuggets, they didn't have anything else. That was like their last line. That shot was their last thing, and it's like they ran out of gas.
They ran out of gas. That's what happened. They ran out of gas.
Yeah. In Game 6, I look for OKC to just finish the job, in my opinion. So, yeah.
You look for OKC to finish the job. Of course, the one way they don't finish the job is if Joker loses his mind. And that's what's going to have to happen, Jay, to stop OKC. Because, oh, by the way, update here, Jaylen Brown just went down. I don't understand what happened. He grabbed his left hand. He's in a lot of pain. He just fell like he got shot. And I looked at the replay a couple of times while y'all were talking. I thought he might have popped or pulled back the finger or something, but
I think he's good.
Brunson went past him on a drive and maybe he hit him. But look,
he in there. Okay, he in there. I was like, all right, 21-17, 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. The difference in this game so far, well, obviously without Jason Tatum, the Boston Celtics have not pulled away as they have in every single game. But like I said, I'm not trying to talk about no Knicks right now. That's coming up in just a few. That's the one thing when we get to the playoffs. The shows get shorter because we don't have so much to talk about. But that's okay. We still going to talk.
Right.
So we talked about Donovan Mitchell, right? Mm-hmm. What is Donovan Mitchell's problem? I mean, again, opinion, but I don't see him as a leader. A leader to me is also a winner, even when you lose a game, right? I mean, the Knicks got PJ Tucker on the roster. What the hell do you got to be? Why do you have PJ Tucker? Can't even what? Because he brings a presence to the bench. He brings what's needed to the team. He's a winner. All the intangibles he brings. In Minnesota, you got a young man who, remember, was the number 1 pick. Went to Minnesota with Cat, and for several years, for 8, Cat sat and waited. Ant came, they got better, gone. Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, a new look team. This is one of that's why these are the 2 last games, because tainted series. So, Louis, Ant and the Wolves, they're going to close it out, unfortunately, because, one, they have to, because they don't want to take a chance Steph's coming back. I don't think he would, but they don't want to take that chance. And 2, because there's no Steph Curry, I don't think Golden State has enough to stop Minnesota.
No, absolutely not. Without Curry, the Warriors are nothing. He's carried that team. I'm surprised he even made it this far. But with Curry out, unfortunately, it's their loss. Wolves are gonna, I'm gonna take this. They're gonna close out tonight, and that's that.
Yeah, you know what, Jay? Again, this is, and again, it's part of sports. It doesn't matter whether it's the beginning of the season, the ending of the season, or the playoff. Players get hurt, and sometimes they really get hurt really bad, and it sucks. It got to suck to be in that Warrior locker room. It's got to suck to be a Warrior fan right now, as it sucks to be an NBA fan to know that the Warriors had a chance and they were going to probably make a run. But when you lose Steph, dude, it's just not enough.
Yeah.
And Ant right now, by the way, I said, Ant, can we give a little love? Can we show some love for one Mr.
Julius
Randle? Damn, boy, what?
Yeah.
Julius say you forgot. I can ball.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot to cover there. Starting with Steph, unfortunate injury at the worst time. with it being a hamstring injury and him being, I believe he's 36, 37, you just have to let him rest. I know there was a chance, but you've seen guys like James Harden come back early from a hamstring injury, and that basically derailed, his career. He's still a 20-plus per game scorer, but he's not that same player. And you don't want to see that with Steph Curry, Yeah. And in terms of Anthony Edwards, I like how you brought up Donovan Mitchell earlier in the segment. Anthony Edwards has everything that Donovan Mitchell doesn't.
Yes, sir.
You could put anybody in front of Anthony Edwards, and he will say, I will beat them. And he is confident in that. And you've seen him on the court. He's embarrassed Kevin Durant. He eliminated LeBron James. He's about to eliminate the Golden State Warriors, most likely. This guy knows what he wants, and he will get there by any means necessary. And like you mentioned with Julius Randle, too, the guy, he's had an up and down season, but he's finally getting into that playoff groove, and he's looking like a solid second option next to Ant.
Cuz, here's the thing. I want you, of course, break down the series, from what you've seen, but here's the really big thing that Golden State fans and Golden State in the NBA may have to face. The Minnesota Timberwolves. They're going to be good for a while. They keep Ant and they build around Ant. They're going to be good for a while. The Houston Rockets, the Oklahoma City Thunder. You got people. Dallas Mavericks are about to get Cooper Flag. I'm going to ask you a question, Brad. I wish I originated the question, but obviously I didn't. I took it from somewhere else. I don't know where. But with the up-and-coming talent in the Western Conference, the age of Steph, Draymond, has the window closed for Steph and the Warriors?
I say no. I say no only because if Steph was healthy, in my opinion, the Warriors series would at least be tied, if not 3-1 heading back to Minnesota. I look at it as the Warriors' issue for next season and the years after next is you have an old team having to survive an 82-game season to stay healthy and fresh for the postseason. When you have the young Bucks like OKC, Houston, they can play their stars 40 minutes a night, have them just run up and down the court, be athletic. The Warriors don't have any young prospects outside of a Pods or a Kuminga, which Kuminga's not going to be on this roster next season, in my opinion. So I think the Warriors' window is still open, but only for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Jay, for me, I'm like, so Steph come back next year. Jimmy Buckets, you see what's happening to Jimmy Buckets in this playoff. He's been more human than playoff Jimmy in these playoffs. I was wondering, in your opinion, Jay, is the window closing?
Well, you know what? Jimmy's still I think he's still dealing with that injury he got in the first round against the Rockets.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I think we might get into this later, but I think the Warriors' window is open if everything goes right in the entire NBA. And what I mean by that is you obviously saw Cooper Flag. Well, not yet. But, the Mavericks are going to draft him with the first pick. But at the same time, there's a superstar in the East. You know who he is. If he requests a trade, Golden State could be the best option for him to pair next to Steph Curry and open that window right up.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the way the window. That's the way the window stays open, right? Because without a move like Giannis going to Golden State, something like that, I'm telling you, man, this window's closed. This window for Steph and the Warriors is closed because they need some kind of
and it's Steph Curry. Who doesn't want to play with Steph Curry?
Who doesn't? Of course. And if you're a ever-worldly talent like Giannis, it don't take much for Giannis to look at him in the mirror and say, "Would I win a championship playing with Steph.
Right. And you know what? It would likely take, a Draymond or a Butler to be moved. Golden State's going to do that. I get Draymond's a lifer, but it's Giannis. You're not going to pass that up.
Yeah.
Man, B, damn. I mean, I when he said that, I was like, trade Draymond?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say a potential trade. I'm not sure how the salaries are working, but it would probably cost Draymond. The Bucks will want some young pieces, so a Pods, a Moses Moody, and the Warriors like next 3 to 4 first-round picks. That should be able to get the job done, in my opinion.
Wow. Well, that's what the Warriors.
Unless the Thunder want to trade for Giannis, which you can't do anything about that. They have all the league's picks. It's not.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be fair.
Not at all.
That wouldn't even be fair. Oh my God. That's what OKC is missing.
Yeah.
That bona fide mega dog star. Okay, we're gonna run back on that one at some point, especially when the season's over. But for Ant and the Timberwolves, look, you're up 3-1. You got a chance to close it out. And I heard this earlier about I don't know. Following Steph's progress, I would doubt that he would be available for Game 6. But if he is, and they say he's playing, I would think that means he's 80, 90, near 100%. And you don't want to take that. I'm not going to take that chance. Down 3-2, going to Golden State to play Steph, to stop him from taking. Nah, Steph going to take the shit to Game 7, y'all. So, yeah. Should be time. Update here. What's going on here? New York Knicks, 9.2 seconds to go in the first. Knicks are up 30-29. And look, that's it. I put $20. I was going to put $100, but I'm a scaredy cat. But I'm going to win this $53 tonight, Coach Think. The only thing that by the way, so the New York Knicks find themselves up 3-1. It is something that the 2025 NBA playoffs have been so good, y'all. It's been so good. I mean, how many years, Louis, have we been in playoffs suck? Playoffs suck.
Oh, yeah.
This has been one hell of a playoffs. And what teams like Minnesota and the Pacers, and look, I put Kinks. I can't even spell my damn team.
Right.
But anyway, let's go back to the Knicks. One of the most improbable runs that you could see. 5-0 on the road. They haven't lost in Boston yet. 2 20-point comebacks, a 14-point comeback. Every time the Knicks and Knicks fans have a reason to turn away and just like, I can't take it no more. And that whole team, Louis, so composed.
Yes.
And look, we got the best closer in the business.
Yes, we
Louis,
do.
what Jalen Brunson's doing, Louis, is just something so special to watch.
That's what he was saying, Clutch Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, Brunson is dynamite on the court this year. Yeah, like I said, going into this series, I have my doubts because I know how Boston is against us because they usually whip our ass. But we're turning the tables here, and the Knicks are being very competitive this game here. It's been a slow start. For most of it, we were down like 10, 12, 120 or whatever the hell it was. But this game right here, you're very composed. It's a tight-knit game, but I think they have to pull it out. So get ready to bring in Indiana.
Hey, and Jay, it ain't just been Brunson alone, okay? My boy Mikal Bridges, boy, one big fadeaway shot after another. One big defensive play after he literally locked down games 1 and 2. But what I want to talk to you about, Jay, is Jay Wright, the former Villanova head coach. They had an interview with him, and they were talking, and he was talking about recruiting Brunson out of high school, a high school team that sucked since forever. And Jalen Brunson came along and changed the entire fortunes of that high school. He goes to Villanova, and Jay Wright talked about how he had to learn how to deal with Jalen because of Jalen's size and all the doubts they had about him. You know, could he be the league dog? Could he be a leader? And Jay Wright said he realized that that's what he wanted. This is what he wanted to be. So he said he gave him the reins. Won not one, but 2 NCAA championships. He was picked by the Dallas Mavericks. He sits on the bench with the Mavericks. Everybody saw it, but nobody saw this. You know, because we didn't watch it. It's not like the Mavericks are on national TV all the time, right? So all we really saw was highlights of Jalen Brunson. So just like Louis said about Derek Harper, when the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson, remember, that was the consolation prize to not getting Donovan Mitchell. By the way, thank God for that. But Jay, I'm coming to you with this. The boy is what, 6'2", 6'1"? He's the footwork, his ability to create a shot, whether it's outside. He has been. Hey, let's get something right over here, okay? Drew Holiday and Derek White are 2 of the premier defenders in the NBA. I'm gonna repeat that: premier defenders in the NBA. And Jalen Brunson's eating these motherfuckers alive, Jay. It is just wow.
Yeah. You know, if you want to talk about the best playoff performers this postseason, Jalen Brunson's right at the top. I mean, like you said, he is pretty much getting shots from anywhere. He's a clutch phenom. That's why he won Clutch Player of the Year. And he's also just making everybody else around him better. You know, so Brunson's not even having to put in all the work, but he's still doing that work. You know, last game, 39 points, you know, in 40 minutes. That's not bad at all. But at the same time, you got guys like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns. He's making sure these guys are getting the ball. And at the same time, these guys are not only scoring the basket, but they're also able to do anything else on the court as well. You know, we're talking, you know, Mikal Bridges scores 8 points one night, okay? But he's got the best defensive stops in the game, shutting down Tatum, Brown, you know, Derek White, Drew Holiday. And at the same time, guys like OG Anunoby, a defensive phenom right now, basically getting any basket he wants, getting any rebound he wants. And Karl Anthony Towns is finally stepping up as well, you know, after that kind of poor performance to end the first round and beginning of the second round. But, you know, like everybody else has said so far, I think this is it for Boston.
And cuz I'm gonna hit you with these few things, right? So Jalen Brunson, obviously we're gonna talk about Jalen Brunson, but again, Mikal Bridges has come up so big. Shout out to your boy in the middle, Karl Anthony Towns, when he decides to play like a big man, down low, driving to the basket, instead of sitting his ass out in 3-point range. Mitchell Robinson. That's what we pay you for. Everybody pitching in. Yo, B, tell me you feel what I feel. It's over tonight, cuz it's over.
Yeah, I think it is over. What impresses me the most about the Knicks Celtics series is whenever the Celtics are up by 20, 19, 25, I'm like, okay, I still think the Knicks are going to come back. I've never felt that way about the Knicks before. It's pretty similar to the KD Warriors. Like a team could be up by 30 because we're like, oh, nah, the Warriors coming back. with KD and them. And that's how I feel about the Knicks with Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG, Hart, Robinson, Towns. And what impressed me in the last game, Jalen Brunson, he dominated, but Mikal Bridges, he kept them in the game in the fourth quarter. He just kept going in the middle of the defense with those fadeaways, mid-ranges over Drew Holiday, Derek White. It didn't matter who was guarding him, and his shots were all net. It didn't even hit rim. Like, these are highly contested shots, and he's just sinking it all net. And I know I'm happy for Mikal because he was getting killed by his own fans in the Knicks fan base. Yeah. 6 first-round picks for him. Oh my goodness! And he's proving why he's worth those picks.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's worth 6 first-round picks, but yes, and you're right, because Louis knows better than any of us. Louis, the New York media was eating up Mikal Bridges.
Oh yeah. And of course, if he didn't, they would razz him, because the New York media is the most vicious, most hardened media in all the country. If they do well, you're gonna get good. You're gonna get good vibes. If you don't, you're gonna hear it all the way. You're gonna hear it all the way. Every sportscast on every New York station, they're gonna say what went wrong and who did wrong. They would razz them to death. As somebody who grew up around the New York media, I know exactly how it all goes. If you do well, they'll praise your name. If you don't do well, they want your head on a platter.
Yeah, tear your ass apart. I'll tell you.
Oh,
Jay,
yeah.
The other side of the story to this, Jay, of course, not good. Jason Tatum goes after a loose ball, and I see him go down. The first thing I'm looking at the replay was how he got hit. Right. And then you see it was a non-contact. And when he went down, first of all, man, look, I'm a Knicks fan. I don't like the Boston Celtics. I want to whoop their ass, but not like this. Not like this. Yeah. You're bad enough. We had this with Steph, and then to see, that's why I froze for a second when I saw Jaylen Brown, because I'm like, nah, come on, man, don't do this. But Jay, here we are. They didn't even give the news. They didn't even give an update on the injury itself. They didn't put the news out. It was breaking news. The surgery was already done. That's how bad it was, Jay. Now we're looking at a timetable, 14, 16, 18 months. Man, I hate this, Jay.
Yeah. Obviously one of the worst injuries to happen to a player. You haven't seen a lot of guys come back like they were before. Maybe Kevin Durant's one of the first names that comes to mind that came back better than, before. Yeah. But for a guy like Jason Tatum, he's still a very young player in this league, and even, coming off a championship last year, there was still so much Boston could do, even in this run, And if you just look at how, the game went, he had 42 points. He was out there almost the entire game, and they depended on him.
Dude, he was hooping. He was hitting shots from the parking lot.
Right.
Man.
And, at the same time, for Boston right here in the immediate, all of their weaknesses are coming back at them at once. You look at guys like Al Horford, Drew Holiday, they're clearly, on their last leg. If not, they're getting there right now. Pretty much invisible, here in game 4. The 3-point shooting, they're dependent on it. This is one of the highest volume shooting 3-point teams in the entire league. And if they don't hit those shots, they're going to lose the game.
And Kristaps Porzingis, dude. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I think he's dealing with some sort of illness or injury or something. Yeah, I don't think the media's figured it out yet. But, in terms of Boston, if they go out tonight, I think there's going to be some significant changes, not because they want to do it, but because they're going to be forced to do it. The new CBA, you got all these expensive contracts. Tatum's going to be out a year. You're going to be a championship contender next season without Jason Tatum. So
no. That's true. That's true.
And if they win this game, hey, that's great. If not, you can't blame them, for being put in this situation at the worst time.
Well, look.
Yeah.
This is what I got to say. What I don't like, you never like to see anybody get injured. Anybody. You don't want to see it at any time of the season. Man, you really hate to see it in the postseason. And you really hate to see it in the sense of, you don't wish it on anybody, but had a Cavs player got hurt, hell, but it makes such a difference. I don't think that the Boston Celtics would have won. It looked like the Knicks got control of that game. They already had control at that time. But if Tatum doesn't get hurt, you think the Knicks are up 8 right now? No.
No.
Probably not. So, but we'll take it as we can. We'll take it any way we can. Listen, boys, it has been such a fantastic NBA playoffs because now I want to see more. Like in Oklahoma City, I want to see more from Chet. I want to see more from SGA. I want to see more from Jalen Williams. But these guys are learning, right? They're gonna be doing this for a couple of years. They don't break up that team. They're gonna be doing this for a couple of years. It's a matter of, and I'm gonna say that for my final thought. Louis, final thoughts. No final thoughts. Stop. Before I say that, Jake, anything from around the NBA? I want to make sure anybody got anything to add. I don't think there's anything really going on but the playoffs, right?
No, I think it's been real quiet. I think really the only thing around the NBA is just what's Giannis's future and how that impacts the rest of the league.
I got it. Unless Braden was going to say it. You going to say it, Braden?
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Ready? Yeah, I know there's something else to talk about. So I hear rumors that the NBA draft lottery might have been fixed. Can y'all please cut that shit out, man? Come on with that. Look, okay, I could understand the conspiracy theory behind it, but so what do you think happened? Somebody made a phone call to Dallas and told Nico, don't worry, man. I know you're in the hot seat about Luka, so you're gonna be lucky. But Dallas wins the draft lottery. They have made it clear they have no intentions, which you never believe that anyway. They have no intention of trading that pick and will choose Flag with the number 1 pick. Yo, Jay, Cooper, Clay. Hey, Kyrie ain't coming back, right? Kyrie ain't coming back to the year after.
Nah, he'll be back by February.
Be back by February. And then and Anthony Davis, of course. Remember, you get 5 shades of Anthony Davis during the regular season, right? We don't know which part of his body is going to get hurt or what's going to happen with him. But I don't know. What are your thoughts about Cooper Flag going to Dallas?
You know what? I think it's with a player like that, being able to go into a winning situation right away, not a lot of players get that opportunity. So it's definitely going to be, exciting to see what he can do, especially when, he's not going to be the number 1 option right away, but he has that opportunity to be a 1B, honestly, behind Anthony Davis, especially with Klay Thompson's more, on that veteran role player stage right now. Kyrie's probably not going to be back until the second half of the season if he comes back this next season. So we're really going to get that Cooper Flag experience right away.
And cuz my thing with Cooper Flag, with these guys as freshmen, look, first and foremost, white boy can jump. White boy can hoop.
And he can play defense too.
And he plays defense. Now, there's been that you watching, Stephen A. Smith, they've been talking stuff like who asked? I think it was Jay asked, what if Dallas trades number 1 pick? Say to Milwaukee for Giannis. Are you trying to tell me you're going to do a straight up trade for Giannis and Cooper Flag? Nah, that's not. But I don't know. There are options, right?
I just can't. Now you can't rule anything out with Nico Harrison as your general manager.
Yeah, after he did.
It
Yeah,
would be tons of issues with a one flag for Giannis. The financials, Giannis is making what, like $60 million.
right.
The Mavs would have to trade like 4 players equal to salary plus the number 1 pick. So I'm gonna hopefully assume that they stick and pick Cooper Flag. They should take it as a second chance for trading away Luka Doncic. You get another potential generational talent in Flag who will come in on a playoff contender right away. And when Kyrie Irving comes back, they are a potential chance to make a deep playoff run. So I'm excited for the Mavs fans who now have some type of hope again.
Hey, yo, Jay, you check out the help wanted section in Los Angeles. They got a job opening for a strength and conditioning coach, and they got some conditions on the job too. I wonder if they trying to target somebody.
You know what? They need to be targeting a center, first of all. All right.
Right.
You know, that was clearly their glaring weakness in the second half of the season in the playoffs. And you know what? I don't know what LeBron's going to be doing. You know, I think that's something we're not going to hear until probably July. Maybe see how the beginning of free agency goes. But, you know, hiring a strength and conditioning coach, I think clearly that's for Luka Doncic. And I think under a full season under the Lakers, with a good, you know, strength and conditioning coach, I think Luka will return to that, you know, mega star level. You know, we're not going to see these injuries as much. We're going to see the best Luka possible. But you got to remember, this is still the Western Conference. And even if, you know, the Mavs have Cooper Flag and, you know, Steph Curry's healthy with the Golden State Warriors and, you know, Joker's still MVP level, it's the loaded Western Conference. It is wide open.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And the Spurs had the second pick also. I just want to throw that out.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, man. Yo, the Spurs are going to be Spurs always get that. If Giannis goes to San Antonio, what, B? What?
If Giannis was traded to San Antonio right now, everyone should just place their bets on the Spurs to win a championship.
I mean, that would be ridiculous, man. Castle,
Fox, Giannis, Wemby.
Nah, man. If I'm Chris Paul, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna stay for another year. I'll sit on the damn bench, man. As long as you need me, I'll direct. Yeah, that would be scary. All right, Boston Celtics have made a run, and we've got a tie score so far. So, Louis, it's that time, Louis. We're gonna catch the second half, Louis. Final thought.
Yeah, it's going as I thought. You know, it's a very competitive game right now, and I expect this all the way through. But if we win this, all I can say is go New York.
Got that right. Brayden, final thoughts.
It's been a fun playoffs. It's kind of sad to see it almost end now. It's about to be, we're going to get a game per night in the conference finals. Yep. That's all.
Yeah, it has been fun. Jay, final thoughts.
Yeah, you know, like Braden said, it's been a great, you know, playoff run so far. I think it's just crazy to see that, you know, injuries have dominated it so much, you know, and obviously it's a part of the game, but, you know, just so many superstar players have been injured even in the last couple of weeks, you know, Dame, Steph, Jimmy Butler, you know, Tatum, obviously. And it's, you know, it's disappointing to see, but I think there may start being discussions on, hey, maybe we should shorten the season to maybe 75 games, but that's just my opinion.
And my final thought is this. It's looking like OKC, Minnesota, New York, Indiana. 3 of those teams, well, they damn sure wouldn't pick to be in the conference finals, but here we are. And it has made for I watch more basketball. I watched more basketball in these playoffs than I watched in 2 years, man, except for the Knicks, because it has been, man, I've been up here every game. Every game got a story. Every game is compelling. So from this point on, as Louis said, for me tonight, man, it's about how Stephen A. say, it's about them orange and blue skies, baby. About them orange and blue skies. All I want right now is a win tonight. And the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals, hosting the Eastern Conference Final. Congratulations to the Indiana Pacers for punching their ticket. We got 3 more games to go. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is NGSC Sports. It's the NBA podcast. I'll be back Friday. We got a lot to talk about in the political world, a whole lot. But until then, for the boys, peace. Hope to be back.